Hello everyone, this will be the review of game Age of Fear, the Undead King GOLD, and the key was provided by developer. The game is problematic to record on OBS, so let me just check if it's running correctly and then we will go with the review. Alright, it seems to work. Because it's using some very weird engine, it's Java, I guess, it makes problems. I had to repeatedly check resolution and go back and forth from full screen to window mode. In window mode, it's not really being stretched correctly. I have always that problem with some games. Some of them work properly. Window mode is just seen as a game. OBS sees the game as a game, not here really. I have to go to full screen and then it sees it as a game. Otherwise, I have black screen. So basically there is some technical problems. The whole engine is very weird. This is the Java thing, so there are technical issues, but the game itself is quite okay. I played it quite a lot. I played actually both campaigns, so I can show you one of them. By the way, I found two problems with the game. One problem is with the balance. Maybe we start with humans and I will show you one battle. Right, so I seem to be somewhere in combat, or rather in between of combat. I was testing some random battles, and yeah, apparently I got money. So if you go to a random battle, well, let's find something easy. Swamp, okay, that's what I wanted to do. I will try to show you the two problems they found. Let me just load it. By the way, one time I couldn't load a battle. It was kind of stuck and broken. But otherwise it works correctly after a couple of attempts. Okay. So basically, from what I understand, the enemy team is gonna be very similar to yours. Maybe let's find it. So they have 8 people, right? And we also have 8 people. And when I played Undead, which I played more, generally speaking, I found that my team was bigger, but it wasn't very well experienced, and I had to fight only big groups of enemies. And the problem with that is that they were stronger, I couldn't beat them, and I'm not entirely sure how it works to set your team, how it's actually visible who is in your team and who isn't. It's not very well presented, so I had to basically fight fights I couldn't win, aside from the main campaign, which was also harder, even harder. So I couldn't grind. Here I was kind of able to grind because I kept a smaller team, and without redoing the campaign, I was doing just random fights. Especially it worked at the very beginning. I also tested one other game. Is this Free World, or however it's called, with 3 factions, and then I had an even smaller team, like 3 up to 5 units, and the enemy had exactly the same, also 3 or 5 units, and it works correctly. But at some point it scales up, and enemy is just way too strong to be beaten, so there is some problem with balancing. The other problem is that if you go to the very bottom and your units will show up, let me just show you. Okay, if they show up like this, and if you are fighting something in the bottom, like let's say our units are somewhere here, and you see it like this, it's very hard to click. It's very hard to click your unit like this and attack if everything is under those icons. And I'm not sure how you can fix it. I'm not sure if you can actually make those icons disappear, but there should be a way to just scroll. Like I'm trying to scroll even more to the bottom, so there should be a way to scroll down further, so you can give orders when something is happening on the very bottom of the screen, because this might be a problem. Another problem is that I mean, it was fixed already, but in some cases it still appears. In the dialogue you cannot click anywhere. You have to click at the guy, or find actually a place on the screen where you can click, because otherwise it doesn't further the dialogue. It was fixed in the third game. For some reason it's not fixed yet in this one, so there is still problem with clicking through dialogue. Now the game itself, just like the one that I previously reviewed, which is part 3, this is part, I think this is part 1, or I think it's, yes, I think it's part 1. Part 2 is chaos, so we have demons and one other faction. I think maybe it's no. I think part 3 is dryads and something else. Part 2 is demons and something else, and here we have undead and humans. So basically, this is probably the first game. I'm not entirely sure about it, but I guess this is so like 3 parts and 2 factions in each part. So we play either undead, which I played, or we play humans. So basically, the combat.
Yes, my king.
We just move around.
Splendid.
In this top-down view.
Fight for the king.
Maybe we will just go down with sound because it's very loud. Yeah, sound is on full, so I have to go like here maybe one more. Alright, something like this. Okay, and now we can move around. Also, the graphics are not the best. That's my biggest gripe with the game. Sometimes it's hard to tell who is who. Like this guy is a bowman because he has this protruding arrow. But in some cases I was really not sure what I'm using, what kind of unit do I have. Yeah, nice addition is that we have a special Halloween item, the exploding units, this exploding pumpkins. Also it would be nice to have a button to speed up the animation. I'm not sure if there is such a button. Let's see. Do we see anything like it? Animation speed, yes, there is. Let's go with fast. Sure, I hope it's faster. Maybe off. Maybe I should go off with that.
Saddle my horse.
Yeah, this is better.
Welcome.
Okay. So I'm just going to move them forward, and we'll have this one battle just to show you the gameplay. Similarly to the previous game, it's exactly the same. The gameplay. So let them come. And let me just check the recording, because I'm really not sure about the technical part of it. Yeah, it seems to be recording correctly. I just hope it is, because due to this problem with window mode, I can't just set it as a game. It needs to be in full screen to be seen as a game by OBS. This is just a problem with recording. Alright, so we can send those guys. Hopefully they will take some heat out of my team, basically. I just want to send them as meat shields. Okay, they are moving slowly, very slowly. And I'm going to also create those special Halloween items, or other units. Yeah, it's better like this. It's better when it's faster. So there's. Oh, see, that's the problem. I wanna click them. How am I supposed to do it? Yeah, I can click here, but now I have problems because they are below those icons. I have to do it like this, and it's very annoying. Like, I can sort of click it, but I would have to. I would like to have an option to just maybe make those icons disappear or something. Maybe there's a button for it, but I don't know where it is. I would need to look for it. It should be just a way to just go more to the bottom. Right, so those can move. I think we can position our soldiers properly. Maybe we go with my soldiers, foot soldiers. Then we'll move those bowmen kinda together. Something like this maybe. The units have a lot of upgrades. They can level up quite highly. So the biggest positive part of the game is that you constantly have this improving combat group, where some members can sometimes die. It depends on the faction actually. Some can be resurrected or they can regrow, but otherwise you can lose your soldiers. So basically you're constantly trying to have this perfect team of super elite soldiers, which just gets better and better from fight to fight. The problem is with this balancing, because if you lose some strong soldiers and you are stuck in a further level of campaign, you have problems to bounce back and basically rebuild your army, because you will be constantly fighting those battles with way stronger enemy, and that produces a problem. Let me just move those guys again. Kinda forgetting about them. Yes, they don't level up, I guess, so they should go first. We'll go through the entire combat and I will show you just the main map and the upgrade system. I guess we'll stop there. So in here we have campaign. I'm just kind of grinding, showing you one of the generic fights that are used to level up your army, but otherwise there are also campaign missions,
You have my
which are
sword.
generally speaking harder. I mean, I guess that's supposed to be harder. It really depends what you're fighting, what kind of enemy. Some are
Excellent.
easier, some are harder. I guess for
Splendid.
campaign you need to have specific power,
Excellent.
because the enemies, I guess, are just
At a distance.
set in stone. Not
Aiming.
like here. The campaign
At a
enemies seem to be
distance.
just
I
set
have
number of
plenty of
enemies,
arrows.
and if you have a weak team, you might have problems beating them. But those are just equal number. Like if we have 8 units, they have 8 units as well. So it's kind of different. It's like this random skirmish.
Surely.
Campaign is more like scripted
Aiming.
to a specific
Fight for the
challenge you have
king.
to beat. Okay, this looks
Excellent.
quite okay. I would like to kill this guy, but then all of them will flock at me, so I don't want that. Maybe we'll try to do something like this. I will maybe move this guy
Waiting
here
command.
and set my
Surely.
bowman
Aiming.
more to the front,
Surely.
kind of,
At a distance.
yeah, like skirmishers. Can they come? Yes, they are coming, which is good. I think I'll charge this guy and then we'll see. Maybe my guy will survive. Okay, let's
Saddle
do
my
it like
horse.
this. They can shoot,
Surely.
so we're gonna move them.
Commands.
I'm
At a
going to go
distance.
with full battle, just so
Aiming.
that you see the whole gameplay part. Right, those should explode on them, but there's a lot of ground to cover.
Splendid. Welcome.
Then we'll go with these guys.
Glorious.
Can they shoot? Of course they can't,
I have
but
plenty
if they
of
die, it
arrows.
doesn't matter really.
Commands.
I must say I do like the factions, I do like the upgrades, especially upgrades.
Fight
The
for
upgrades
the
are very
king.
good in this game.
Excellent.
They have a lot of passive, sometimes optional. Actually, everything is optional. You can just not upgrade them, but most of the time it's beneficial. Not all of it. Sometimes you can, for instance, have more attack but less defense. You may choose not to do it.
War is
Okay, I'm
mine.
gonna charge this guy. Not exactly sure why he's
Fire.
taking more damage, but apparently there is some modifier there.
I have
Probably
plenty
when
of
we are
arrows.
charging,
Aiming.
it's more damage. Not entirely sure about
Glorious.
it, but I guess that's the
Fight for
case.
the king.
Yes,
At
those
a
guys should be
distance.
able to open fire
Commands.
very soon.
Aiming.
This guy shouldn't die. He's definitely weaker. I'm not sure if you can check level here. You can't, but this guy has more HP, so probably this one is weaker. He's just a recruit of sorts. They are very slow, by the way. I'm not sure what happens after the Halloween. Probably those will disappear. Right now it's much easier with those
Glorious.
exploding
Excellent.
pumpkins, especially in
Splendid.
the early game. Right, so let them come. Not sure who is who, but it doesn't matter. Right, so this guy is like probably harder. Let's try to beat him
To
up.
victory.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Try me.
Of course, they are resistant
On
to
it.
probably arrows, or
Fight for the king.
maybe they're like undead.
Splendid.
So they're basically resistant to ranged. Because of the fact that they have mostly bones, and this guy has
Here's my
incorporeal
message.
body, so he's
On
also
it.
resistant. Can't
Want
beat
some
him
more?
yet.
Fire.
Alright, so let's leave it like this.
Excellent.
Those guys will be able to attack this right,
Welcome.
or whatever it's called. Also Spectre.
Glorious.
Yeah, Shade. Alright, let them come now. Alright, he tries to backstep. Should be able to attack soon. Okay, so let's take our foot
They
soldiers.
won't notice.
Might be able to attack him.
Splendid.
This guy is... Yeah, let's charge
Taste
with
my
this guy.
dagger.
Because they can die. They don't
To glory.
really belong to our army. They are just temporary
some more?
soldiers. So if we lose them, it doesn't matter. Right, one of them should be able to move, but it's not the... Oh yeah, it is the
Taste my
case.
dagger.
Yes, this worked correctly. Now we can charge
War is
another
coming.
guy. And maybe attack from behind with these. Hopefully it works. Now we can still
Here's my
shoot a
message.
bit. Probably they
I
can't
have
be
plenty
shot
of arrows.
with better accuracy because we don't have enough attack, but I'm not entirely sure how the mechanics in the game work. What exactly is the ratio between attack and defense? Maybe it's explained somewhere, but I'm not really sure how it works. I just know you're supposed to have more, and then it allows you to hit enemies more often. Okay, let's explode into this guy. That didn't work. Probably won't work either. Okay, 2 damage, that's good.
Want some more?
Vampires can regenerate by
On it.
attacking. So
Want
I would
some
like
more?
to make sure he's dead.
Here's my message.
Okay, this guy was
You
more
won't
accurate.
notice.
Right, the vampire is dead.
To glory.
I will try to charge more with
Welcome.
those special, well, royal guards, however they are called.
Out of my way.
It's not the worst, it's not the best.
Fire.
So far so good. This is just a
Try
zombie.
me.
He's like a meat shield.
Taste my
Let's hack him
dagger.
to pieces. And this guy
For
will
the king
annoy
gold.
the other one. By the way, we did some damage to him. Permanent wound. Yeah, there's a lot of little things in this game. Actually, I'm playing now the melee soldiers, so they don't use many artifacts or
Try to stop
spells,
me.
but there are also other factions. Actually, in this one we have the undead, so there's necromancers and stuff like that. So
On
more
it.
into spellcasting. We have this
Try me.
main knight here, so he's mostly just
On it.
melee unit.
Commands.
But yeah, it depends, generally speaking, on
Here's
the
my message.
faction you're playing.
Surely.
Okay, can those move? Yes.
To
So maybe we
glory.
can finish one guy. Yeah,
Taste
they
my
are supposed to
dagger.
lose morale maybe,
To
but some of
glory.
them don't have any
For
effect
the
with morale
kingdom.
because they're undead. Maybe this guy has. I think he does. Because that's a human. Zombies and skeletons probably don't. Alright, so we're kinda winning. He can die because he's just part of our reinforcement team. Alright, so first we
Fire.
shoot a bit.
On
Let's
it.
use all our arrows on the enemy.
Fire.
Kinda like this.
Want some more?
Okay, this is
On
not
it.
so bad. Positioning could be better, but
I have plenty of
it's not the
arrows.
worst.
To glory.
Okay, let's chase this guy.
Won't notice.
Whoever he is. Yeah, he's an acolyte.
Out
Can
of
we
my
charge? Yeah, maybe. I guess it was the charge. He can
way.
also
Very
attack.
clever. To glory.
That should be okay, I guess. They have 4 units. 5 actually. Yeah, we have to kill this guy. Because he keeps resurrecting. Okay,
Try
so
me.
let's soften the
Here's my
zombie.
message. On it.
Maybe my guys will level up from this. I'm not entirely sure if they do. Let's check. 4 to 4.
Want some more?
And now, yeah, 2 XP per attack.
On it.
So it kinda helps. Okay,
Russian
let's
gun.
charge this guy. Maybe he won't be able to resurrect
For the king.
now. Not sure if he's tied by
won't
melee,
die.
but it's possible.
To glory.
Let's hack this
For the king.
vampire to pieces. Alright. Let's see what happens now. He's attacking, he's escaping. That's not the worst. Let's try
Very
to hack
clever.
this guy. Probably won't
Glorious.
work.
Welcome.
I think I'm gonna charge
To
him.
glory.
Like
War is
this.
coming.
Yes, I think it was the jousting skill or
An
whatever do we
instance.
have
I have
on
plenty
the
of arrows. Maybe.
knight. It's probably jousting or
At a
charge or
distance.
something like that.
Commands.
We can check it actually.
Aiming.
Let's see what he has. Unit. Alright. What do we have? Jousting, yes. +1 damage if we move, sort of. Right, so I guess that's it. It makes us take 2 pieces of their HP. It's almost done. I'm kinda at the beginning of this campaign, so I'm gonna show it to you, and then maybe I'm gonna show you the beginning of combat with Undead. Alright, this should end the fight. Or maybe not yet. Let's just wait. I should just chase him, probably. This guy is just going to escape, or rather disappear. Right, okay, we win. Now, because I changed one of the settings, we're getting all the loot after combat, so that's very useful. You should always do it. Okay, so we won a random combat, right? So now we can check all those special places, which give us all different ways to upgrade our army. For instance, here we can grow special nature units. This is a guy who can lift a curse from our items. Here you can get special mana crystal. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but yeah, one again. I think it's daily. Maybe it's actually real-time daily. Here you can transmutate stuff. This one is, well, it was giving me a special idol item, which increases morale. So there is a lot of stuff like that. This is the main campaign, so there is one special mission. Usually it's combat mission. I guess maybe even always. So you basically have to follow the campaign to beat the game, I guess. I'm not sure how it ends, but that's the general idea. And aside from the main campaign, you can have those skirmishes, those random battles, or you can take care of some special events are usually connected with unlocking well, merchants and maybe units as well. Or you can fix your team in the hub area, like your camp or something like that. So this is my camp so far. Now the problem I have with this setup of team, I never know who is gonna fight, because we only have this team size. Now we have just 8 people. Now all of them will fight because I don't have more of them, but it's not really consistent for me who is in the team. Like, what if I can take only 6 people to battle, or what if I have 20 people? I can only take some of them. Like, who is in the team? It's not really well presented. In this case, I cannot really show you because I cannot get more people. I'm trying to go out of this. Where could I buy more units? Let's see. Actually, I don't have an option. I think we only have camp here. Right now there is no option to get more. Maybe we can also click this thingy. No, it was already done. We got money. Alright, so let's just fix our team and I will stop here. Okay, so this is how you basically upgrade. So you have all those skills that you spend your experience on. Like I have 500 experience. Let's upgrade our knight. What can we get here? 2 one-handed weapons. Not sure what it does exactly. Maybe it just gives more damage. I will go with these probably. Noble is useful because we get more defense. So it's like permanent boost. And then let's take enhanced weapon and armor. Okay, so that's more useful now. This is bowman. I cannot do this because probably I didn't progress enough with the main story, so I'm gonna probably go crusader. Let's see what it gives us. Trying again. Yeah, here. Alright, one more attack defense. So let's see how it grows. Yeah, it's just better. So crusader would help. We can wait here. We also can go to blade master. So there is at least 2 upgrades of the unit. He starts as just foot soldier. Then we have those royal guards and then blade masters. Bowman can also be upgraded eventually to fire archers or rangers. So that's very helpful. This should make him much stronger. Let's keep upgrading other guys. Elite, that would be useful, probably. This guy lacks something. They can only equip potions, but you can change it in the special options in the options, so that all your soldiers could be also able to use items. Right now, only hero can do it. Brave, that's base morale. Let's upgrade it just in case. Can they have it as well? No, they already have it. Right, so we have one more guy. He's lacking stuff, so let's give him intelligence. He's definitely weaker. It doesn't show the level, I think, because now if we compare them, this one is much stronger, or this one, and this one is just weaker, but it doesn't show the level. It's just the general idea of maybe this is it, KLS. What is KLS? No, it's not that. So this is like 4, but I'm not sure what it is. Kills. Oh, yeah. Kills. Experience kills. But it's not really a level. It's not the same thing. A bit hard to say. Alright, let's go to, well, regular. I can do it. There are probably recruits as well. Alright, so they would have to wait for the next um, battle, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna save. It would be nice if all campaigns had separate saves, because now you can save on the wrong save, so that's a problem. But whatever. Okay, so there are humans. I'm gonna save on humans. Now I'm going to show you just the problem that I see with the balancing. So if I go out of this, I can load the game, go to an Undead, and now we're in the Undead campaign, right? I'm not sure what's this. Check out the other game in this series. Not now, of course not. It's very strange. Right, something happened. Let's see if they also upgraded somehow. Can we get this? Maybe we can. Yeah. This is reset daily, like actually daily. It's real time. Do we have this other one with money? I'm not sure if we do. No, I don't see it. So there was the campaign fight that I stopped at because I was just too weak to do it. And we have the better version of camp here. This time it has this tower. I don't know why. Sometimes it has money, sometimes it has tower. It should be one icon because it's just confusing. And here we have basically our hub for units. So as you can see here, we can recruit all those different units. For instance, well, maybe something more interesting. Black Knight, like this is a better version of Undead Cavalry. We have vampires, for instance. We have mummies. We have abominations, and we can also move from like normal skeleton can be evolved into skeleton warrior or archer, and then a warrior can become a rider, and then I guess it stops there. So I have all the team here, right? And some of them won't be able to fight because definitely I won't be able to take, let's count them. I have now 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, it's showing up there. You have 22 people, right? But if we go to combat, which I will just do in a moment, because I have it saved here, right? Let's go out of there. So let's say that you are too weak for this fight, right? And you want to go any fight, just any normal fight like this, okay? Battle planes, alright. Now you get your team, but not entire team, not 22 people. You get actually 10 people, and they get, let me just press a button, they get also 10, but they have all kinds of stuff. They have like potions on them. They probably have also, let's check this guy. Yes, they're very leveled. Not sure what's the level, but definitely they have a lot of stuff unlocked, like greater regeneration. This is high level stuff. Greater warrants, yes, they're very powerful. Like their attack defense, I'm not sure exactly how it's counted. Is it 13 or is it 3 plus 5? Okay, let's say this is the 8-7 is the actual attack and defense they have, right? 8-7. So let's look at my guy. Okay, 7-7. What about somebody like this? They have 8-9, just normal orc. I have 6-7. So my guys are weaker. And I have to fight this. I cannot fight something easy because I have no idea how I can lower the size of my team or how I could fight easier enemies. So now if I want to level, I have to fight very powerful enemies. They are way too powerful for me. Basically, I would probably die here. So that's the problem with balance. And yeah, that's just, I just wanted to show you that when you go too far in the campaign and you don't have perfect team, like my team is not bad, like those guys are elites, for instance. Yeah, like this is an elite cavalry guy, but he only has 7 to 9, right? 7 to 9. They have like, yeah, this one's weaker. 7, 7, 8, 9, right? So this guy is stronger. 7, 7. Should be able to be kinda equal, but of course they also have other powers. They can like uh, summon those reinforcements, which I can't on this guy. Let's see if this guy can have it. Well, I don't have this option, right? I don't have this option of getting reinforcements. Maybe I'll just go back and check if I can buy it on him, because there's also another problem with the reinforcements. Right, so if I go here, and yeah, I should actually save after getting this, because I will forget about it. Let me just save here. Quality shield, I got some stuff. This is probably some random event. Alright, so I'm saving after. And now, what I wanted to check. Ah, yeah, no, not this one. Ah, okay, it could be this one. I wanted to check if this guy can evolve into getting... No, see, I don't have the reinforcements. So if the enemy has reinforcements and they have equal army to my army, and that army is basically stronger from the start because they have all kinds of potions and they are leveled up and they have all kinds of bonuses, it becomes very hard to grind, even if it's on easy. I think it's on easy, I'm not sure, but let's see. Do I have it on easy? Not sure, really. No, I'm not sure. I guess it was on normal or on easy. So you can get stuck because it's not balancing correctly. I mean, you should always have weaker armies to fight, or maybe a way to take a smaller number of units. I'm not sure how you do it, how you can limit your number of units, because it seems to cap on 10, but I'm not sure if that's the rule. Definitely, if you have 3 or 5 units in your army, then the enemy also has 3 or 5 units, but I'm not sure how far it goes. Can you go with lower amount? And if you go with 10, they also go with 10, and they are way too strong. So you can get stuck on the campaign, and you can get stuck on normal missions, on normal fights, which before are easier. If there is less units, you can kind of keep being stronger and winning, but at some point it can be a little bit off. So there is some balancing issue with that. The other issue was that one with the bottom of the board, so that was hard to navigate there and move your units. And the last one was with this continue button, right? So the continue button in this game, in this Undead King, is not yet fixed. It's fixed in the third game, but I'm not sure if it was trying to be fixed. Maybe. I know there was a lot of patches for all the games. Some changes were done, but this dialogue thing was still a problem when I played, because I did play both campaigns quite a lot. So I had this problem with basically clicking through the dialogue. Right, so that'll be it, I guess. What can I give this game? I would give it 7 out of 10, because I do like the complexity. I like the ability to randomly fight if you get stuck, even though it's not properly balanced, but you have that option. You have also quite long campaign with, like, I think it's 25 missions or something like that. Definitely it took me a while to go where I am. I'm kind of stuck, but whatever. I did take a lot of time to play through this part of campaign, which is not yet finished. Also, all the fights that you play additionally take time, and you have to also go through fixing your army, giving them all kinds of artifacts, upgrading them, leveling them up, sometimes training new ones when some of your people will die. You have to kind of train new ones, so it does take time. It's quite a lot of content, actually. 2 campaigns that are, well, to some extent they are linear because they have those campaign missions, but in between you can just have sort of free fights, as many as you want. Just keep grinding those random battles and fully upgrade your army, or at least as close to fully as possible. I think at some point the top units become unlocked, and then you have to probably leave through a couple of fights. Yeah, that's a problem, especially with the undead at this point of where I'm at in the game. It was less problem with humans, but I wasn't as far in the campaign yet. So far as as you have seen, I was able to win without any problem. With the undead, it would be problematic. I tried like 2 or 3 battles and I constantly died. So that's probably some problem with the balancing. You should always have a way out to grind, just to go to some mission or just a random encounter with like reds or something like that and be able to grind it, because without it, it's really very problematic. Still, it's a pretty good game. It has horrible engine, and there's a lot of technical problems even with recording it, and the fact you have to constantly restart the game to set stuff. It can get stuck in a window even though it's set on full screen, but then it kind of resets after 2 or 3 attempts. I'm not a big fan of this Java engine, and I'm not a big fan of the presentation. That's also a problem. So technically it's horrible. Graphically it's rather bad, but as I said before with the other game, the gameplay is there. It's very complex, or rather, well, quite complex, maybe not very, but there is a lot of perks to get on your soldiers. There's a lot of soldiers as such. Well, they're usually bound to your faction. Yes, I know you can recruit from other factions, but mostly you just use your own faction with maybe some additional like nature soldiers or something like that. Usually you just use as main body use just for humans. You use humans. For undead, use undead. Makes most sense. Also you get morale bonus if you have uniform army. So it's still quite a lot. Units, maybe not so many, less like 20 of them or something per faction, but overall there's way more. And they do get upgraded to even different types. So one soldier can become 2 or 3 other soldiers when he gets upgraded, but it's still the same one. Like foot soldier is always foot soldier. He's just called differently and he gets more stuff, but he acts the same. He's like a slower melee unit all the time, even when he gets upgraded. But yes, he gets more skills, so it's interesting. It's very nicely done in terms of progression. So you want to upgrade, level up, get more soldiers, maybe change a little bit of your army, and then use this new upgraded version of your team to win another battle. And then when you get new skills, when you upgrade someone, you want to fight one more battle to keep going, and it keeps you focused. It keeps you just going. I was like testing it, going through 1, 2, 3 battles, and then there was just this feeling of, oh, one more, I want to upgrade this, I want to test that, and it works very nicely. So it's a very mixed bag, this game. I do like it to some extent because I did play all the games like that. I played Dark Omen, I played Warlords Battlecry, which was real time but similar view. I played Fantasy General, which was very similar to this game. Black Moon Chronicles. So it's very old school. It has really horribly done graphics and engine. Both things are problematic. I think it's a bit of a waste because if those games were done like it's hard to say what game, but imagine a very nice graphics. Like take any game you want for that, something like Dawn of War or something like this, with figures and dioramas and very beautiful pictures. If all that engine was put into this, if all that engine was put into beautiful setting, it would be an awesome game. Because it's very basic graphically, it might put some people off. Well, I'm an old guy. I played old strategy games very similar to this one, so it's kind of passable for me. But some people just want the presentation to be better. The entire mechanical part, the entire engine behind it, and the battle system is very good because it's actually like this board games from Games Workshop, I think, where they use all those markers, figures, and dioramas to play this sort of tabletop games. and it has this vibe. It has this very nice vibe of, maneuvering your soldiers around and tactically attacking enemy from all sides and using all your powers and being able to um, overcome enemy in different ways using different tactics. So that's very interesting. This is actually very well done technically and mechanically. I'm talking about just the battle system, right? Not about the presentation. The presentation is very bad. It's just all top down, little animation, actually no animations, and yeah, turn-based. It's okay, but it should be just pretty. It's not. And also this Java thing, which is just a bunch of problems, all kinds of, from recording it to setting full screen properly, to the game starting very long with this checking files thing. I don't know what it is even. I mean, this should run very quickly. Like it's very basic game. It's just sprites on a sheet of board, uh, just on a picture, like few non animated pictures moving on one battlefield. It's also drawn. It should work on a toaster, and I don't know why it's sometimes having problems. It's just going alt tab quickly, or going to window mode, or well, I think, did it crash? I'm not sure if it crashed. Maybe, yeah, I think it crashed once when I was trying to load the battle and it didn't load, and I had to close the game and restart like 2 or 3 times. So technical side of the engine used is horrible, the presentation is horrible, but there is very good game underneath. So that's why I give it 7 out of 10. It's definitely above average in terms of turn-based top-down strategy game, because of the way the battle system is done and the number of upgrades and customization of your army, plus all this stuff that happens on the map, where you can interact with different locations, where you can recruit your soldiers, train them somewhere, and then eventually overcome the campaign with properly set army. So yeah, that's actually very good game underneath it, but it's kind of ugly just when you look at it, or when you try to fight with the engine, or yeah, basically with the engine, with the options, with all that stuff. It's not really a game. Once you in the game, it's okay. It's just playable. It's not pretty, but it's playable. Okay, guys, so that will be it, I guess. I was asked to do this one particular game, so I'm doing it now. My comments plus a little bit of gameplay, I think that's enough. Um, I'm kind of stopping with this, I guess, because well, I already covered 2 games out of 4. They are very similar, actually. The 3 games give you 2 factions each, and the last one is, I think it's 3 factions, but it doesn't have campaign. So it's actually one big game. To be honest, I would prefer if it was just one game with all factions in it, all the campaigns, and maybe a way to just play freely with any faction. I think there could be like 10 or something factions to choose from, and just give us a campaign. I mean, not really a campaign, just free roam sandbox with any faction you want. And the problem is that you kind of have to do it in the campaign, or you kind of have to buy all the games to have full experience, which might quite quickly rack up the price. I mean, if you were to buy all those games for full price, just to have this one big game that's just very consistent when you have everything, it could be very expensive. I would definitely prefer it to just be one game with better engine, better graphics, and having all the content from all the games, because that would make more sense for me, rather than selling those games in pieces, like 2 campaigns here, then another game just to have 2 more campaigns, then the third game to have 2 more campaigns, and then 3 factions which we already played. Like I think there is orcs, humans, and one more, and we already play humans in this one, so it's very weird. It's very weirdly done. It's very weirdly designed. Just one game cut to pieces on bad engine and basic graphics, which overall would be rather expensive. But once you actually start playing it, it's quite okay. It's quite really playable, definitely, if you like this sort of thing. So I would give it 7 out of 10. Slight recommendation if you're into the genre. Not sure exactly what's the alternative. Definitely there are better looking games, but I'm not sure if there is all that many mechanically complex games like this. I didn't really play all that many of them. So this one is kind of satisfying when it comes to content, but yeah, probably there is alternative. So yeah, if you're into the genre, I can recommend it. I had fun playing it. I will probably play it a bit more. Not sure exactly where it goes. Do you finish the campaign and that's over, and then pretty much there's no replayability because there is no free roam outside of the campaign. Once you beat the campaign, you beat it. There is no sandbox, at least not in those 3 games that have 2 campaigns and that's it. I would definitely prefer some sort of open world free roam campaign that would be even better and bigger. But here you can kind of have to do it in between of campaign missions. Yeah, so I guess that will be it for the game. I think that's enough. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I will try to address it. If you want to ask me more deeply about other options that could be changed, or if you wanna just ask for more feedback, then just leave it in the comment or contact me directly on Steam. It doesn't matter really. I can play it a bit more if you want to. So yeah, this is the second game of the same developer that I'm covering. He's quite consistent with those games. It's like 4 games right now, maybe it will be more. So yeah, it's a nice project, a nice game, a recommendation. But yeah, the choice of presentation, choice of engine is just really bad. So if you abandon the game because you don't like how it looks or how the engine works, I would understand it. Still, as an old gamer who've seen, well, I've probably seen worse than this, but really it's hard to think about a game that looks worse. Like this is pretty much a level of Fantasy General or Warlords Battlecry, which were very old games. So I don't know why this is done like this. Is it because of lack of money or is it a choice of any sort? I don't get it. I would just make the same thing in better engine and it would be awesome game really. Like a hit, making it look like Warhammer 40,000, that would be a hit. With those graphics, not really. It's just for maniacs like me or some old school gamers. But yeah, there is actually a very good game in it. Alright, I'm finishing because it's really taking too long. So see you guys next review and leave me all the comments and questions below. See you in the next one.